Eons ago, during the age of the Magi, the world was something other. Magic is all that there was and all that was needed. Legend states that a cataclysmic event brought a great frozen age to the world of Lacrin, and soon after, a new era dawned. Though they say the ancient magics of the Magi still lie buried and lost, scattered around the world, lie in wait for those with the courage to wield it to discover. Welcome to the world of Lacrin and the continent of Thelmecia. Noble knights, roaming orcs, mischievous goblins, and idyllic wondrous lands, just waiting to be explored. Now, a new peril aspires to plunge Thelmecia into despair once more, but not before a few unheard-of heroes take their chance at triumph. Welcome to Tablestory, Darkfire.
You're good.
Oh, hello there. You're good, John. Everyone moved again.
That is BradWOTO. Welcome back to the show. Just watching Twisted D&D. Yeah. Woohoo.
All right. Okay, Tiger Writer.
Because I was alone in the shit talking.
And you are the first to die.
I was low key about it.
I was.
I was gone last week.
I see how it is. I will remember this. Don't worry.
I just want you to know that right before this, Brad was being very mean to me, so I was just getting him back. All right, he's just.
I would never be mean to anyone. Okay.
They heard it. They heard it through the mics. What did you guys hear?
And they know that.
What did you guys hear? What did you guys hear?
They heard about my psychic powers.
Oh.
Yeah. She has psychic power. Sorry, all the fucking things moved away because OBS hates me so bad.
Why'd you switch?
Why'd you switch? Tiger Rider is changed.
Because everyone told me that Slobs was superior, and it's just not.
The only thing cool about the Streamlabs OBS is you can like load it up anywhere. That's dope. You could like log into like a computer in Antarctica.
No.
That's nice.
It's a no from me. I went back to OBS Studio.
Oh wow! All right.
The studio mode is mega useful for D&D for situations like what I just did, where I switched you guys all around. And that's one of the main reasons I absolutely adore OBS Studio, and it doesn't come with all the things that were wrong with Slobs, and it was driving me crazy. But in doing the weird like twist, I've installed one and then uninstalled the other one and then reinstalled one and then uninstalled the other one. Everything is kind of screwed. There's like all these missing links, so stuff just keeps going wrong. Like my hotkeys are wrong, which is why you were on mute.
Open them all up.
And it keeps moving you around. It's really frustrating. I've had a lot of issues with OBS for the last month. But it's probably my fault because I'm a techno twat. Hi everyone, welcome to Tablestory's Darkfire. With me, your host, Wax Steven. Hey, how's it going? I'm Wax Steven from New York. You want to get a taxi and a hot dog and some coffee, and I'll sort you out. That's what's up. New Jersey hype. What's good? Patriots. I don't know where the Patriots are from.
Nailed it. I mean, I think we can all agree.
It was perfect.
Thank you.
Really. Honestly, I was like, why is Whack talking so much today?
Yeah.
No, Whack always talking.
Someone like him.
You know, Whack. Don't shut the fuck up. Shut up,
This is
Whack.
one moment he can
I'm
shut up.
trying to speak and he keeps interrupting me and saying, "Hey, you want a coffee?" I'm like, dude, shut up, dude. No one wants
Whack.
No one wants a coffee. And
We're
he's
trying
like,
to do the
"Hey,
intro.
let's get in a taxi." I'm like, dude, come on.
boys.
Poor guy.
I shouldn't have rolled that dice.
I get oh god.
I'm gonna kill you all. Apparently.
Yep. I rolled one. I feel not very lucky right now.
I always get so thrown by some sort of small technical issue. I don't know what is wrong with me, but if something goes slightly wrong at the beginning, I'm like, everything is ruined and I can't concentrate for a few minutes where I'm like, I don't remember what I was doing. And then I suddenly like, it's like I wake up and I'm like, oh yeah, I was in the middle of fucking hosting a thing. Really
quick,
30 minutes later.
I hate it.
Really quick
Yeah.
note, you and everybody else. Is anybody else's Twitch consistently doing like this weird, like, remember like VHS tapes where like the screen would go really weird and like put a bunch of lines up and like, what was that?
Sheer?
Yeah, does it been doing that for anybody else, like you guys or anybody that's I'm losing my mind? It's doing it right now. I wish I could.
No. What if it's your eyes?
No.
What if it's not Twitch and
I
it's your
can
eyes?
barely remember VHS, Tiger.
I miss VHS.
Look at this real quick. Look at our Discord real quick, and you'll see.
I miss recording, like literally stealing shows, like with VHS. and
Oh
recording.
yeah, we do
what
that.
the fuck?
We
I
have.
did
Yeah,
that
all of my
so
computers have been
much.
doing that on Twitch lately.
Let me see.
I always wonder if anybody else's are doing that
It's the
because
first
it's
time I
only the screen. So
What?
And it's only Twitch.
yeah, it's only Twitch. Nothing.
Okay.
that bad?
It
Yeah,
doesn't
that's-
like.
That's pretty bad.
At least you get to see me and Wax foreheads.
That's true.
I like it. Looks like you've
Or
seen
it's
that. Have you guys seen that Jif Kif peanut butter of Riker's face like completely melting?
Mhm.
No. Okay,
Oh.
that's what it looks like. That's what Whack looks like right now. It looks like his face is melting.
My face is melting.
Yeah, that's really just Wax face.
That's IRL.
It's all the Botox kicking in.
It's like the it's like
He's
the Ark of the
secretly
Covenant.
79 years old.
He's actually.
It's like
79.
Raiders of the Ark, the Ark of the Covenant when
Yeah, when they-
Nazi
Yeah,
sees
open it.
the Ark. And,
That's literally what Tiger Screen looks like. All right. Anyway, welcome back, John.
Hey, what's going on?
He's back,
I missed you
everyone.
guys. I missed you guys
He
so
was-
much.
He was missing. He randomly wandered off. That's what your character did last week. And
Well, what's funny is I got to watch the last scene because Brad DM'd me and he's like, "Are you around? Can you see what's about to happen?" I'm like, "Yeah, like of course." And it was just me and my son on the beach, which is not a good idea. But I sat him right next in my lap, and I pulled out a book. I had a book in one hand and my phone in the other, and I was just pretending to read him a book of what was happening on the screen. Oh, Daddy's coming in to hurt some people, his friends.
Oh my God.
Daddy's coming to hurt his friends. And then I would flip the page and it was just like this coloring book. And I was like, oh no, what? I freaked out. So this is exciting. It's
Yeah,
scary.
I wouldn't dictate most of this stream to him.
Oh no, yeah, I didn't go into detail. Kept it Disney.
Well, yeah. I mean, we'll see what's going on in a minute. In fact, let's just begin, because I can catch you up a little bit on what happened last time. So two episodes ago, which was the last time we saw Drift, they went to John's farm, where John and several of the farmhands had been murdered, almost definitely by the blood grips, probably. On behalf of 19 and his
Don't say that.
his meddling.
Don't say that.
Well, that was why. It was to get at you, and I don't know how to speak English. Come on, dude. I'm not fluent in any languages, including English. So the group kind of had a discussion to kind of leave it, and then they were heading back to the Ironwell Inn, where on the way there, Drift kind of just vanished. He just wandered off. Later in the episode, Rin was speaking to somebody that was following her around, the half-drow that had been kind of following her for a little while, that might be part of whatever the hell's going on with Rin. And she said that she saw Drift just kind of wander down an alleyway at some point, but she was following Rin secretly. So she witnessed it kind of happen, and that was the last they saw of him. There were several conversations. I wanted to just title last week's episode Conversations, because there were just multiple conversations that happened that were pretty in-depth, where 19 spoke with Heavy about the Warforged village and generally how it is kind of to be a Warforged. 19 and Heavy also saw a sort of ghostly halfling who was reading a book. It was the same book that Rin has in her bag of books. Iridia went to the Guild of Knowledge to look into the name Kalius, and while he was waiting to collect that stuff, he attempted to kind of sneak into the area where the blood grips were to see what was going on. He had a plan in the back of his head, but couldn't really pull it off. He was invisible and he was walking around, but couldn't work out what was going on. The area had been cut off, and they had clearly paid off some guards, and they were diverting traffic away from the area, and it was suspiciously quiet. He never looked up, and then he headed back. The three of them reconvened at the Ironwell Inn later on that night. They were discussing kind of their next move, what to do. They were a little concerned about some things. When they finally came, there was a couple of heated conversations in there and a couple of conversations where people were trying to work out what was going on. And then the three of them were attacked suddenly as they turn around. An eldritch blast comes launching towards them, explodes the table. The few of them jump up, turn around, and Drift was running across the pub towards them, sword out, looking like he was ready to attack. What was going out? Find out next time, because that's the end of the stream. Thank you so much for watching. We should do that. We should do that. What show lands on April 1st?
Please, and you just
it's on a
end
Monday.
it.
It's on a Monday. That'll be Sector 49. Whack. That's on you. Let's see if they remember, because I would straight up do that as well. By the way,
that would be hilarious.
it'd be so funny.
And then we just all switch to PUBG or something. Random game. Load up. Where are we dropping, boys?
All right. So.
Or you guys all play other characters on another show.
Yo,
can I show
Like it's an episode of it's an
yeah.
episode of Darkfire, and it's all Sector 49 cast.
There's just one person from every other stream that's on during the week, and they're like, "What the hell?" They just they introduce themselves, and
Why
then
are you
it ends.
ruining these great ideas?
Dang
right
it.
Gosh, shut
All
up,
right.
Brad.
Shut
Just stop it.
Because they'll forget. They'll forget by then. They won't. They fucking won't.
True. It's not a week later.
So let's just jump right into it.
Bop. Sorry.
So
Why am I killing my friends?
we're going back in time.
For
Back in
power.
time, back in time.
And
back
blood.
in time, back in time. Back in time.
Blood for sure.
So we're going.
Blood power.
You could have mine. You could have just asked.
You.
Yeah.
Good to know.
There you go.
It's called metagaming now.
So you guys, we're going back to when you guys were heading back through the town, but this time we see it from Drift's perspective, as we kind of saw it from everyone else's perspective last time. Drift,
Yeah?
roll me a d20 first, off the bat here.
Okay. All right. Yeah!
That's
yeah!
the natural 20.
Yeah!
Wow.
Look how happy
We're
he
gonna
is.
die.
Look how
We're all
happy
gonna
he is.
fucking die.
We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
Happy he is. Okay. All right.
Or I'm gonna die. That's how much HP you lose from jumping off a bridge.
Yeah, you are dead. So, all right. Drift, you are walking through the town with the others after the events at John's farm.
Okay.
When suddenly there is a fucking explosion. As far as you are concerned.
What?
Drift.
Yeah.
If you'll recall, all the way back when, there was a time when you were walking into a town and the town exploded. You have been part of several destructions of towns, and one of those destructions was Drift. For you, as you're walking along.
What do you mean I've been part of it? Like I
Well,
was
you were
there.
there. You were there. You were there.
Okay, okay.
Again, I don't speak English well. You.
I literally thought it was because of me.
Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah,
We're all freaking out.
Hey, maybe it is. We'll find out one day.
Next time. Later,
Next
guys.
time,
Thanks for watching.
April 1st. So suddenly, there is this huge, terrible crack. This deafening sound. A sonic boom kind of roils through the town. The skies above you darken and begin to turn a kind of deep shade of red, and this rolling ball of purple flame suddenly washes through the streets, and it instantly destroys people, passers-by, buildings. Everything around you is turned to ash. A very similar situation as it was in Drick. Give me a dex save, please.
Is that the wrong one?
11.
Hold on. Do I re-roll it?
Do you have any proficiency in dexterity?
No.
Then no, it's an 11. It's the same roll.
Cool.
11.
Yep.
Okay, so this fire is coming down the street towards you guys. You see 19 Iridir, Rin, and Janfire and Heavy suddenly dive to one side. They launch themselves into an off-road. You are cut off as you kind of stumble before you jump. The fire is about to hit you and you dive into an alley on the other side. You barely escape the fire as it washes past you. You feel the heat on your back. You smell the stench of burning flesh as it pushes past you. There's suddenly screams, fear, other explosions, the crack of wood and rubble as the building above you collapses and traps you in this alleyway. At the opposite end of the alleyway, the fire decimates past another street. The sky deepens another shade of red above you. As you sort of stumble and stand up, there is a shadowy figure who is kind of all smoke and shadow. Barely the shape of a man and a spear, but that's essentially what you can make out running down this alleyway. And he's kind of backlit by this kind of flame that's now burning above you in some of the windows and in the buildings in the distance. What is your AC?
18.
18. He thrusts this kind of like shadowy spear past you, and as you stand, you dive to one side. Do you want to attack him back?
Yes, yes.
Give me an attack roll.
I'll use the Shadow Sword. Ah!
Shadowy
16.
sword comes out. Give me the damage.
11.
11. You dive to one side. You just brandish this sword, cut him, and as it passes through his center, he just turns to shadow, to nothing. He's wisps as he disappears. The alleyway ahead of you is open now. The fire kind of dissipating. You can kind of make out people screaming. There's the sounds of people kind of marching as well. There's like the march of soldiers moving through the streets. You do see some shadowy figures marching past the other end of the alleyway. Behind you, the alleyway is completely blocked off. An entire building has crashed down behind you. What do you want to do?
Do I hear like any screams of like people who need help?
Oh my god, yeah, all you can hear is screams of people that need help. There's just the sound of terror and crying and screaming all around you, pretty much.
All right, so behind me is all blocked off, and then I can see out, and it's a street, correct?
You got a street ahead of you, yeah.
And there's people marching, shadowy figures marching.
Yeah, like an army of shadowy men marching in moving down the street.
Are they wearing masks? Is it the company of masks?
They're just shadows. They have no face. They have nothing. They're just kind of like smoke, barely people shaped.
All right, I'm gonna sneak. Like, will they see me if I go out there? It's pretty out in the open, huh? Is there any way I can like?
You can try.
Can I peek out there? Like, just peek and get a better surrounding of the street?
Sure. Give me a stealth check anyway. 10. You poke your head out, and you see immediately. I mean, you can see the street. First of all, you see the chaos immediately. You see these figures, and it's very reminiscent of Drit again. They're these shadowy kind of figures moving around, but you see them kind of brandishing swords and pikes and swords. Some of them are stopped and about the street. Some of them are marching down there. You can hear the marches in the distance as well. The sky above you is super red now. The buildings about you are aflame with that purple fire. The shadowy figures are doing the same thing. There are survivors that are kind of laying on the ground, and you see them shoving like pikes and swords into these people, finishing them off. But as you poke your head out, pretty much immediately on your left, there are two of these shadowy figures that see you. One of them brings a lance down and then charges towards where you are. With an attack, he he aims at your head, and you duck it back, and you just see this lance on the edge of this alleyway, just ting. It breaks some of the brick off as well. So even the lance itself looks like it's made of shadow, it's definitely doing damage, and it's similar to the way that your sword looks, probably.
Can I stab him in the chest?
You can jump out and try and stab him if you want to give me an attack roll, yeah.
12.
A 12 is enough. Give me the damage.
13.
13. Same thing. You duck around this. You jump out and then you bring the sword down, and probably it hits the wall and bounces off the wall because it just passes through him like he's nothing, and he turns into wisps of smoke and stuff again. He just vanishes. Behind you, there is another one that comes at you with a short sword. This one, for sure, hits you. Let's see here.
What the heck is going on?
You take 5 piercing damage. Or slashing damage? I can't remember. A sword behind you suddenly is just brandished across your side. Blood suddenly starts running down the side of your body. You notice the smoke around you starts to choke you now. As you're moving around and through this thing, there's this smoke which is filling up the air around you. The screams of people, the horror. As you bleed, you look down, maybe bring a hand to your wound, and you see the blood pass through your fingers, and then you can smell that blood, that metallic scent. You can then smell the blood of the people around you that are being murdered, that are being killed by these shadowy figures. Rivers of blood start to move down the streets. You look into the drainage systems, and you can see that they're just like rain pushing into these drainage systems. The smell of it enriches you, strengthens you, empowers you. Give me another attack roll if you want to attack the one behind you.
Okay. Yeah, I do. I was thinking.
Yeah.
I sort of want to.
I mean, you don't have to. You can do something else. I mean, he's for sure. There's basically a dude behind you with a sword who's bringing it back up to hit you again.
And he cut into me. Correct. I'm bleeding.
You have a wound on your side.
All right. Yeah, I'm gonna swing at him.
18. Give me the damage.
11.
11. Yeah. You bring your hand out, bring up the sword. You see him again. He turns to smoke. The shadow vanishes, sure, but the blood remains, and it's on your boots from these rivulets that are passing down the streets. It's everywhere. It's starting to fill up the streets. It's about an inch high now. The sky, red, starts to rain. The rain is blood. It starts to wash and slick the buildings around you. It puts out the fire in some places, but it brings up these rivers of blood as it starts to wash down the street. You see these people dying and being murdered and killed by these figures. Your sword cleaves through this last one. The destruction of the city around you, the endless rivers of blood that now flow down the broken streets, they're basically giving you strength, and you can feel it. As you look down at your side, that wound, gone. You get that 5 HP back. The blood around you, the blood that's raining down on you, is uniquely giving you the strength you need to avenge this despicable act of merciless killing. Ahead of you, in fact, give me a perception check. We'll see what you see.
10.
You don't see anything. You hear the voice of 19. You can't make out what he's saying, but it's a gruff Warforged voice. As you kind of hear through this haze and the chaos and the screams, there's the smoke filling the streets, the blood piling or pooling up at your feet and raising. You then suddenly hear Iridir as he speaks, shouting back to something that 19 says. You hear him say, "Get back to the Ironwell Inn, it stands!" And they're impossible to see. You can't work out what's going on, but they're ahead of you towards the end of this street. You know the direction of the Ironwell Inn. You're somewhere ahead of you. What do you want to do?
Run to my friends.
Okay, give me a dexterity roll just to see how fast you make it through. And also, I need a dice roll from you.
Dang it, I keep doing the opposite of what I need to do.
19, you start running. The smoke is filling the streets. It's hard to make out what's going on. The smoke is black. Because of the smoke being black, the shadowy figures that are around you are harder to make out. Suddenly there's two in front of you, one with a kind of shadowy sword and shield, one with a lance which is thrust out as you're running at full speed down the street. Give me a dex save.
14.
You dive out of the way of it. The next one brings in the sword, misses you. You see a lance launched to one side of you, a sword is brought above you. Do you want to bring the sword out and hit them?
I'm gonna keep going. I'm running to my friends.
Running to
They
your
said,
friends?
Yeah, this is just chaos.
Okay. What is your AC?
18.
18. So the one with the sword swings at you again, and you dive around him, and then you try and push past him. The one with the lance drives it forward, and you feel the bite of the lance in your back as you take 4 piercing damage. As a lance cuts you, you continue to run forwards. Ahead of you is the Iron Well Inn. It is untouched by fire. It's a very large building. It's quite easy to make out. You pass over a river. The river, by the way, is red and filled with bodies. You see,
Brad, I know this sounds ridiculous. Can I pinch myself?
yeah.
Like while I'm running, like this is just like my young kind of thing. Can I just pinch myself really hard?
Absolutely. You
Okay.
pinch yourself. It hurts.
Okay, great. I'm still running then.
Yeah.
It's just like the kid in me. Like I want to know. Like this is not real.
It's crazy.
Okay.
The Iron Well Inn is untouched by fire. You approach it. As you look down, the wound on your back, healed. You're covered in blood, slicked by the rain that's falling. The Iron Well may be untouched by fire, but there is blood on the walls, on the windows, the shutters. They're all crimson red. Give me another perception check as you run up to it.
20.
Nice. Your friends are in there. For sure, you can make out as you approach the sounds of what sounds like a fight from inside. You can hear 19 shout towards Eero. Eero shouts back. He sounds kind of frightened. Rin trying to bark orders before you hear a sharp cry. The smash of a window, the break of a table, the smash of glasses, and you approach the Iron Well. You get to a window and you see them. You see 19, Iridir, Rin, the halfling Janfire, the 2 rogue teenagers strung up. 19's broken form lays across the bar, unmoving, one of his arms basically hanging off, his head twisted round at an angle that even for a Warforged cannot be good. And you see these bodies, these figures hanging above the bar. You see shadowed figures dancing about them, reveling in their death, your comrades, your friends. The blood rain then stops. What do you want to do?
Kill them all.
You kick in the door. You open with a volley of Eldritch Blast. Poof, boom, boom, boom. These Eldritch Blasts launch out. You see these shadowy figures that killed your friend suddenly turn, draw weapons. They speak to you. Can't make out what they're saying, their strange language. These figures are going to pay. Your power is immense, remember. You are covered in this blood. You're invulnerable to pain, to damage. You are the embodiment of power. The blood empowers you. I'm going to need you guys to all roll initiative, but first, I'm going to bring you over here.
Fuck!
I have chills.
Oh, it makes sense.
You guys will be playing the part of these shadows I'm gonna give you each these character
Did you
sheets.
label me the cultist?
You are the Shadow Cultist. There is the Shadow Warrior and the Shadow Lector. And so let me just give each of you access to these things. I could do this before stream, but I like revealing shit. Let's see. All right, so the Cultist is Rin. So you should see a new character sheet appear, and it will be basically a little monster. You're basically taking control of a monster manual Shadow. And what is this one? This one is Iridia. And then this one is Shadow Warrior, which is 19. So this is sort of, I guess, a kind of like a mini game. Roll me a dex check, Shadows, and Drift.
An initiative check.
Is there an initiative on there?
Yeah, little dice button.
Perfect.
It's an 18 from Rin Shadow, 16 for me,
Oh, sorry, I was muted.
22 from 19.
All right, hang on. What are we missing? Shadow Warrior, 22. 22. All right, I'll put it this way, Shadows. You're gonna want to defeat him, if you can. You may notice that a Shadow has the ability to strength drain and reduce a character's strength to 0 and instantly kill the character. There you go. That's all the meta I'll give you for today. The Shadows jump up. They mostly avoid the damage from the broken tables. And you guys should have all the information you need. Shadow Warrior, you are the first to react in this initiative. I'm not even involved in this. What do you want to do?
40-foot movement. I'm just reading over this real quick. I was finishing the whole. I mean, let's go. What's up, son?
Yeah.
I'm gonna move all the way over to him, and well, as much as I can, and it reaches 5 feet. You fucker, you're lucky.
You do still have things like dash and stuff, so you can get near to him.
I'm just trying to see if there's any other abilities or spells I had or anything like that. That's what I was trying to see. But it doesn't look like I do. So in that case, I'm just going to give him the middle finger with my Shadow Warrior at that distance.
Okay. Next is the Shadow Cultist. What do you want to do?
I would like to. How well lit is this tavern? Like, are these that I'm seeing on the map here? Are these all lights?
Yeah, you can see everything in here. It's essentially daytime. The sky is red. Everything is lit red, but it's everything is lit fine.
But if I were to smash, say, these tables and the lights in here, would it become darker for us?
No, it's lit by the by the sky outside. It's not super bright or anything, but it wouldn't put you in darkness.
Okay. I will. Oh, geez, he's super far. Okay. I will move.
You're not in official sunlight though, if that's what you were trying to.
Yeah. I was trying to determine what we were.
No, you're good. None of you have the sunlight weakness.
Okay.
And you move to there. All right. Next is the Shadow Lector.
Jeez, they all get to go before me?
Yeah.
Dang, you guys rolled so high!
Honestly, it probably works in your favor a little bit, but we'll see.
I will move up to here and hide if I can.
Hide?
Yep.
I feel like you can do that, yeah. Give me a stealth check.
Underneath the table. Actually, it's a bonus action for us. So I will do that up to here and hide.
Okay. Yeah,
so
give
I'm
me that
going to
stealth.
use like a dash.
I thought we could only do that if it was dim or dark.
Well, I'm going
It
underneath
is
the
dim-ish.
table. Would that be considered dim or dark?
Yeah, I feel like you can.
Okay. All right.
You're in a unique situation in that it is both lit technically by sunlight, but also dim because there's fucking smoke and the sky is super red, almost like that crazy red that you get at dusk sometimes. But it's very blood red, so you're in a unique situation where both dim light counts, but also kind of technically sunlight, but not really. So it's lit, but it's not darkness.
But for the sake of the sheet, we can assume we're in dim light.
Yeah.
Is that right? Okay. That's what I was trying to know.
And did you ask for a dex check or
stealth? Yeah, or whatever. I don't know if you have. You should have a stealth thing.
I don't.
You don't?
Actually, I do. Sorry, I do. 21.
21. Okay. Brings us to Drift. So Drift, from your perspective, you come in, you explode this thing, you miss kind of with your Eldritch Blast. You see the splinters launch outwards. It seems to hit some of these shadows, but these shadows seem more powerful than the ones you've dealt with. Not as powerful as you. You're enriched. You are fully. You're at what can only be assumed as your sort of full strength right here. They probably can't even hurt you if they get to you, but the Eldritch Blasts haven't dealt with them. 3 of them move towards you, and they move very oddly. One moves lumberingly around the sides of these tables. Another one swiftly moves. The third one kind of turns into a kind of shadowy form and disappears out of your sight under a table. What do you want to do?
I know this sounds crazy. Is it still raining outside? Or did it stop?
No, the rain stopped as you got here.
Damn it. Okay. I wanted to go outside and be enriched with the blood. All right, so this shadow cultist over to my right, who's standing out in the open.
Yep.
Since they're not close enough and I don't want to engage yet, I'm just gonna instantly Eldritch Blast him again.
Okay.
So I'll throw that out. 18.
18 on the shadow cultist. Is it hit?
Roll some damage.
Yeah.
Oh, it is. 8 damage.
8 damage.
Right.
Forced.
You see this magic launch outwards. It's a perfect hit. It strikes this cultist. It doesn't knock it over or anything like it would do with a person with this force damage. It kind of disperses them and displaces them. There's an odd screech that kind of that comes outwards. You catch on the inside of this screech. The creature is screaming at you to stop. You've hurt it. This thing, as you look beyond it, you see your friend strung up, the broken form of 19, these other individuals. In the other side of the bar, you see another Warforged leg from another Warforged, probably heavy. This thing is screeching at you to stop, but as much as you've hurt it, it kind of reforms, it coalesces into this smoky form again, but it's not dead. Cultist, I don't know if you have access to your own bar of HP there, but that might be the best way to...
I don't. I just have it in a notepad. I'm at 8.
All right, let me see if I can add them.
You should. Just click on your token.
You should just be able to click. You can even just click on the token. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, okay. Nice. All right. So.
And then before my turn ends, I'm just gonna use a bonus action to look at the Shadow Warrior that's closest to me, and I just like after I cast the Eldritch Blast, I just like slowly stare over at him and smile and like wave him over, and you just see me move my hand, and I'm instantly gonna cast Hexblade's Curse on him.
Okay. Hexblade's Curse on the Shadow Warrior?
Yeah.
Alrighty. Shadow Warrior, your turn.
I'm gonna run over to Drift, and I'm going to Strength Drain him.
All right, give me that attack roll.
Do I just click straight there, guys?
Yeah, just click on it. That's an 11 against your AC, Drift, which I think you said was 18, so it's a miss. This shadow kind of appears beside you. You see this huge, this is the largest of the shadows by far. It kind of comes in, it tries to hit you, kind of tries to grab at you. Its smoky, shadowy arm, kind of this mist roiling off of its body as you kind of jump out of the way. You bring your own sword up as if to parry. The thing completely misses you. The shadow cultist is next.
Right, I'm going to head over here. And I am also going to attack.
Okay. Give me that.
See.
It's a touch attack. You have to get.
Oh,
it in.
okay. There we go. I'll come up behind him then. Okay.
That is a 23. That's just a hit.
Get drained, my boy.
So you just click on the
How do
attack,
I-
the word attack in the thing.
Oh, in the thing. Okay.
6 necrotic
6.
damage. And I think what do you have to
1d4.
who rolls it? I guess why don't we have the shadow cultist roll me a d4 as well?
Yep. 2.
Drift. Remember what your strength score was because it's just been reduced by 2 temporarily.
Oh, okay. And I also took 6 damage, correct?
Correct.
Yes.
So
Strength.
this shadow cultist thing.
Should I change it in there for now?
You can do, yeah.
Write down the original one someplace.
Yeah, don't forget the original one. This one appears behind you, just like Nunny style. As you're turning around, it's quick and it coalesces again, reforms behind you as you avoid the attack from the warrior. It feels kind of half like it hits you, but you also feel like some of that blood power drawn from you. It weakens you for a moment. You stumble just a little bit as this thing is siphoning power from you. You feel a little weaker, and you also take 6 necrotic damage. So your HP is reduced by 6, and your strength is reduced by 2. The Shadow Lecter, hidden under the table.
Oh, I'd actually like to use my bonus action to hide after that.
Okay, where are you gonna hide though?
I'm gonna back up into the shadows here.
Can I get an opportunity of attack?
You would. You want to Control Z that?
Nope.
Okay, all right. Give me that attack roll if you want to retaliate.
Yeah, because I mean that Lecter just hit me, so I'll definitely swing. 15.
15 is a hit. Give me that damage.
11 damage.
I'm that's it.
Yeah.
I disappear.
The one comes up behind you. It drains some of that strength away, and as it steps back, you bring that sword whoosh, straight across the midriff. The thing again, as with the others, just disperses. There's a screech, pierces your ears as this thing is reduced to just nothing. It's gone, and
That was for Rin!
2 remain.
else?
Oh my god!
2 remain. Shadow Lecter, now it is your turn.
Now, since I'm hiding and I'm coming out from this hide, I'm rushing forward towards Drift, and you just kind of hear this. As I rush forward, would you say I get advantage because I'm coming from a hidden place to attack?
Yeah, sure.
That's a crit.
That's a natural 24. Yeah, okay.
That's a 12 plus 9 necrotic damage.
Oh my god!
Yes.
You fucked.
Plus 1 strength damage.
Damn.
22
right.
damage?
So 22 damage.
21 damage. And
Yeah, 21
and 1.
damage.
Yes.
And your strength is reduced by 1. Drift, you distract yourself. You turn. You spin the shadow sword on this other one. You see it. As it's screeching, there's a moment that maybe it draws your attention for too long. This thing behind you envelops you. You're suddenly surrounded by the shadow as it drains this strength from you. Wounds suddenly just appear all over you. Cuts and lacerations as if you're being hit and stung by a million little knives. And the thing kind of unenvelops you. It coalesces once again into the form of a kind of tall man behind you, and you feel weaker, but you look down and there's just so many wounds over you. Your own blood running out of all of these little wounds. That fucking hurt. You feel like you've been stabbed Caligula style about 1,000 times. And you are bleeding like fuck, and they're not healing. Is that the end of your turn, Shadow Lecter?
Yes.
Drift. Your turn.
Listen, if my friends are fucking dead, I'm dead too. And I'm instantly going to swing this. Who I cast the
Hexblade's Curse?
Yes, Hexblade's Curse on. I'm gonna swing at the Shadow Warrior.
Okay.
Hit me, bitch.
11.
11
Yes.
is a miss. You stumble forwards. These wounds slicking your body with the blood from the rain, which is already on you, and then there's just all these wounds on you. The grip on your sword is a little less strong. Your hands are too weak. You just kind of miss as this huge shadow just moves to one side, recoalescing into this huge form. You hear a kind of warbled noise as it laughs at you. What else do you want to do?
Wish I could use a bonus to take a healing potion. No, I got nothing, man.
Shadow Warrior.
What? Strength drain for a 9.
9 versus your AC. Miss. It comes in for this kind of like huge swipe. Its arm changes into an enormous sword and it misses across the top of your head. You duck down. And what are you going to do?
This time?
Mm-hmm.
Since I can still move these abilities, such as how big are the cracks on the floor? Brad? Is there at least 1 inch?
Roll me a d20.
D20?
Yeah. If you beat a 17, there's a crack
9.
within 5 feet of you. No, not within 5 feet. There is some,
Okay.
but the DC
I'm
was set
gonna-
by a random d20.
I'm gonna do as Whack did then, and I'd like to move under the table into the shadows.
Okay. If you move out of the way, he will be able to use a reaction to hit you.
That's fine.
Okay. Yeah. Move out of the way. Give me a stealth check. And Drift, if you want to try and hit him, you can.
Yes, I do.
There's a stealth +4.
Crit 27, and he has that shit on. Hexblade's Curse is on him as well.
Give me all the damage.
Oh my god, what does it do again?
Can you kill me?
All right, so Shadow Sword does 6 + 4, which is 10.
Okay.
And then any attack roll you make against the cursed target is a critical hit on a roll of 19-20. If the cursed target dies, you regain hit points. You gain a bonus to damage rolls against the cursed target.
Yeah, this is
What do I need? What do I do?
Well, you get the bonus
do
damage,
it.
which is, I think it's in here. Like,
Proficiency?
oh no, never mind. I fucked it up.
I think it's your proficiency.
The bonus equals your proficiency, yeah. So you get an extra
2.
2.
Okay, we're not.
That's
Then.
it?
Yep.
Wow. Okay. I thought
So, could we say that when you hit me, or when he hit me, Brad, it almost looked like I died, and I just disappear under the table like I'm.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Give me the stealth check. Oh wait. Yeah.
Oh,
give me the
yes.
stealth. Sorry.
What is my stealth check on this one?
There's a little.
stealth +4 under skills.
Yeah, it's like a word you can click.
Oh, I can
That's
actually.
so much
okay.
stronger.
19.
Yeah, you see, like you,
it might be different though, right? Because mine is +6 for stealth. It's under shadow stealth,
+6 in dim light or darkness. Yeah.
right? And we're in dim light, right?
So 21. 21. You Drift, see you. This thing fucking tries to swing at you, and you just bring the sword across it as it's kind of moving away from you. It kind of turns into like a mini maelstrom as it, and it's gone underneath the table. The Shadow Lecter, which has previously dealt so much damage to you, is behind you.
And you just kind of hear. And strikes again. Strength drain. Normal attack. That's a 22.
This, by the way, is Wax Steven getting to use some NPC monster manual creatures, and this is what happens.
I will immediately shield.
Okay. What does that bring
is it
your
just
AC to?
D5?
You get +5 to your AC.
23.
23.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, this thing is doing it again. It's as it grows up behind you, you suddenly see
That
it.
would kill me. I would die.
It probably
on.
forms into a bunch of different spikes. Go on.
Hold on. He used his reaction already. He doesn't get to shield.
Yeah, use your reaction on opportunity attack.
It's true.
Whoa!
And you can't attack of opportunity again.
No!
I think probably the shadow.
It was planned.
The shadow. The shadow
From a distance,
strikes
Waxy?
you.
High five from a distance.
The shadow strikes you
Yes,
with
what's up?
a thousand pointed spikes. The
We just
the
killed our
form
friend.
in front of you just kind of washes over you. The last thing you see
No, we subdued him.
is your fallen comrades. You see the building suddenly catch fire with that purple fire as you're kind of falling backwards. The room dims darker and darker and darker. The shadow creature that was in front of you kind of envelops you more and more and more. And you fall backwards. Everything slows down for you again as you kind of return to whatever form of consciousness we're dealing with here. You hear your good friend speak to you, and he says, "Truly, you might be the most powerful yet, Sanguine One, but overuse of this power can make you drunk, blood drunk. The Bloodshadow reveries are strong, and even I cannot protect you from them. Perhaps you should seek out Muriel by night. She may be able to help you. There is great power in blood, Drift, but such power must be tempered. For now." You collapse, hitting the ground. Iridir, you probably broke his dream state, his odd reverie that he was in. I imagine that probably based on the way that you deal with your powers, you most likely wasn't attacking him physically, whatever was going on. And you guys can interpret that on the fucking real side however you kind of like. You were probably trying to restrain him, which is why I thought the strength drain was pretty good. I think Iridir, you can, and since you were pretty much the one here that did the felling blow, you could probably assume that he was essentially drunk and in a dream, as far as you can tell. And I feel like with your attack rolls in here, you and your knowledge on illusionary magic, he was essentially in a kind of dream, and he was kind of dream sleepwalking, and I think probably you snapped it. I don't know how. It doesn't have to be fucking mechanical necessarily, but I think probably you, between Rin and 19, they were restraining him, and then maybe somehow you were able to use your magics to snap him out of it. As it stands, in the aftermath here, at the moment, Drift, you are KO, but stable. Rin, give me a death saving throw, because where we're at right now, there is destruction in this bar in the middle of the day. Drift came in, there was a scuffle and a fight. He was going crazy, and he was legitimately attacking you. Rin, straight up, was reduced to 0. Wound across the front from this sword. 19, you've got wounds as well. How much damage did you take in that fight?
12.
That's how much damage you took in character. Rin, you're on 0.
Yep. That was a
19.
10 on my death save, by the way.
19 knocked 12 HP off. Iro, you're fine. You probably were cowering and hiding, and then you probably worked this out. So it's up to you how you want to interpret it, Iro, but you essentially snapped him out of this reverie. Drift, your KO, 1 HP. Or 0 HP, whatever, but you're stable.
How'd you do it, Iro?
I think this is probably the first time that you've heard me speak a different language, 19.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of heard me say, "He fell in the water. It fall in the water. And I would assume that Drift would probably get a. I would have casted my suggestion spell.
What language is that?
And
You don't know what language it is.
Okay.
just for RP sake, I know that normally it's supposed to be a thing that you can understand, but I feel like it has more impact if I do it this way.
You can do whatever you want.
Okay.
We're outside of the realms of the law here for a moment to justify.
So, yeah, I basically told Drift that he's very tired and should probably lie down and go to sleep.
Right. And yeah, you did so. Casting a spell like this, it was strong enough. Maybe it probably didn't work first time. It worked somewhat, and then he opened his eyes and then came back swinging, hit 19 before you bolstered it and launched it back in, reworded it, and hit him. And you see him just. In which case, actually, I think Drift probably. You can be at full health. I think probably I can't imagine that they would have straight up been trying to fucking kill you. So you're probably at full health, but they've Eero managed to kind of knock down your HP in a sense of in the sense that you had a resistance, and he was knocking it down magically to the suggestion spell. You are KO. Rin is KO, and she is wounded on the floor. There are a couple of these other patrons in the bar which are all stood around feared. Loads of them ran out during the fight. The barmaid is hidden, poking kind of a head above the bar, and 19. I doubt you're probably not hiding under a table. You're probably stood nearby.
Yeah, I had an idea for how that actually happened, so we're good.
It was all interpreted by Drift in a certain way. You guys just had to deal with this fucking kid going crazy. From behind you, the halfling barmaid that's been serving you drinks and stuff all morning says, "Is that the curse breaker? What on earth happened there?"
Oh, a bit of a raucous drunken spree. You have to understand, he just was in a major tournament. It's a bit much sometimes. I'm very sorry for the mess. I'm going to take out 25 gold pieces, and I'm just going to kind of put them on the bar. I am terribly sorry for the mess.
We'll take. I pick up both him, Drift, and Ren and put them over one shoulder each.
Sure.
Don't worry.
There's some blood that's running down Rin's arms and like kind of running across the front of your what is broken armor at the moment. Give me another death save, Rin. There's some fucking rough breathing coming from Rin, and there's.
I don't wear armor either.
Is it like pretty noticeable that there's rough breathing coming from Rin?
There's a decent amount
I don't
of blood.
wear armor. I'm bleeding all over the fucking place.
There's a good amount of blood. She's got a big fucking gash across the front of her body.
Then the first thing I'm gonna do after that's notice is cure wounds on her.
Okay, give me that cure wounds.
Thank God.
Oh shit, man.
I would have been the reason.
And like I kind of like what happens is I would say like I pick her up and I put each one on the shoulder, and as I put her, I just see like blood go straight down, and I look over and it's like kind of coming out of her mouth a little bit, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
And then I cast the spell.
Okay, so 7 healing. So you gain 7 HP back, Rin. You probably come to some sort of vague consciousness here. The wound across your front closes in such a way that it's still seeping and it still fucking hurts, but you are no longer on death's door thanks to some healing magic. So I'd say your conscious. Drift is pretty much entirely KO still. And the barmaid, the halfling, looks up and says, "Yeah, well, it's not the first time we've had a fight like that takes the gold. Luckily, we know some wizards that can fix things." Right. Could you just clear off then for now?
Do you think we should go to the room, Eero? Rin?
Can I get a
Rin?
perfect voice? Help me clean this shit
Yes,
up?
let's. Again, we're very sorry for the inconvenience.
Fucking fights that break out during these fucking tournaments.
I might just
Everyone thinks they're a
lean on you for a minute.
fucking gladiator.
right.
Yeah. Is Drift okay?
I look over at him.
Yeah, he's just asleep.
Smack him on the ass a couple times. I think he'll be all right.
He's magically asleep, so.
We should go to the room. Maybe he needs some rest.
Yes. We'll sober him up. Again, we're very sorry for the inconvenience.
Yeah, all right. Well, again, I'll deal with it. Just clear off for now, okay? I'm gonna be in right load of fucking trouble.
Yes, of course. I'm sorry, what was your name?
What was her name? Did I give her a fucking name? Fuck.
You did.
Let's see. And well. Her name was. I don't know. I don't think I did give her a name. Halfling woman.
My name is Halfling Woman.
Yeah,
Nice to meet you.
I don't know if I did give her a name. So I'll just give her another one. It's Alice, spelt with a Y and an S.
Alice. Honestly, I wouldn't trouble yourself beyond this scenario. It won't happen again.
Yes, well, it will happen again, but just make sure it's not you next time, okay?
Of course, of course.
Luckily, we know some wizards, and they've got all sorts of mending tricks.
Nephene.
No,
That's it, yeah.
Nephene
No,
is,
Nephene was the elf.
is
Yeah.
the elf who owns the place. This is the halfling who is the off time. You're lucky Nephene's not there. I'll give it. Give that. So this is now Alice. But you did actually encounter this person before when you came downstairs once, and Nephene wasn't there, and I think you bought some breakfast from her, so I wondered if I'd given her a name.
Holy shit! Did I kill a bunch of people?
So she starts cleaning up. She starts cleaning up, and a couple of boys come out. She sends one of them off to go and get someone to come in and fix some of these things. And then you're going upstairs to the room, yeah?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have a thing when we get to the room, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, you guys probably head into this room. You couldn't get into it. I can't remember who had the fucking.
Drift has the key, so one of us has to search him for it.
Yeah, you lift the key off of him, head in, lock the door, place him on the bed, probably sit down yourselves and take a deep breath.
As soon as we get in there, the first thing I do is go to the door and I go into like the 4-hour mode.
Okay.
Yeah, like I stand right in front of the door, like I'm paying attention, but I'm like in rest mode, 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Hero, what happened?
I'm rubbing my temples, and I say, "This is the problem with dark magic.
Do you have experience with dark magic?
It is never under anyone's control.
You sound like you know.
I know that Drift would never do anything like this. He was under some sort of control of something. And when we were in the arena, he was in a similar state. He killed Walter the Red.
What? Are you sure?
Yes. Stabbed him right through the neck. And
Hero, I have to tell you something. Brad, am I being watched right now? Can I tell?
Oh, almost definitely not.
Like, definitely not. Okay.
Almost definitely not.
And I kind of wave my hand in front of 19. He's in super rest mode, right?
19 is in rest mode, but he's alert. He's still aware.
Yeah. You can still...
You're muted.
Wait, you're muted. You're muted.
I was saying if you got his attention, he would come out of that.
One of the most...
No, I'm just waving to see if you're awake or not, or if you're sleeping.
He has the insane elemental evil or thingy Warforged that lets him be
bullshit.
Yeah,
okay.
And it's not the one from the Eberron saying that just came out like the week we started running this, because he was made before then. So
Okay.
he's aware. I think you guys are aware that he's aware because he's always said that whenever he's resting, he turns into like an alert bot, right?
Yep. Okay. So I look at Eero then, and I point to my bag. I put my finger to my lips, tell him to be quiet. I point to my bag, and I'm going to pull out the book that says Praeterita on it, and I'm going to show it to him. And then I hand him the book.
I look really upset in the whole thing, and
I'm going to open the book of the Praeterita to the part where it just summarizes what they're after.
Okay. Eero, if you take a moment here to read this, this book is a book about a dark cult that covets the magic of the ancient magi, which were the race that existed beyond, and they people generally are aware of this like extinct race in the same way that we're aware of dinosaurs, kind of thing. And they have this obsession with power and these runes of theirs that they hoard and cover and guard. It says some other things in here, but I think if you're just glancing at it, it's generally Praeterita is supposedly this extremely old dark cult that's obsessed with powerful magic, and potentially their goal here is to bring back the Age of the Magi. That seems to be their kind of end goal.
so I look at her, and
I'm going to pull out
I shrug.
I'm going to pull out my brush and my ink, and I'm going to go ahead and write some shit down. I'm going to write down quickly. I'm going to write down they want drift. That's why I wanted us to leave.
As she's writing her sentence, I'm kind of looking over her shoulder as she's doing
Yeah.
this, and I get a bit wide-eyed, and I sort of like turn you around, you
Yeah.
know, with my hands on your shoulders, and I say, "Why wouldn't you tell us this?"
And then I write on the paper, because they're watching me, they can hear me at any time. And they'll kill us all.
Okay. So I say, "That's a funny joke, Rin. Very hilarious. Honestly, would you seriously consider that Drift would be seduced by some old woman on the street and forced to drink 11 beers? Really? Really? I don't think he's that foolish. I mean, he does appear to be a bit drunk."
I tear the paper up and I eat it.
I make a sour face, like, and I say, "Well, if he did in fact drink 11 beers, then, well, perhaps we should walk him around a little to sober him up."
Well, that's if he'll wake up.
I honestly don't think that will be a problem.
How did you subdue him anyway, Eero?
Well, you know, I am quite skilled.
At
Doing many things.
do you need a piece of paper? Maybe you can use the
A piece of paper would seem very peculiar at the moment.
I don't know how you subdued him and why you're being so strange about it.
make a horrible, like, angry, like, I want to strangle her kind of face.
Oh. 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 Sorry.
And I say, what do you think? Should we take him around and have him walk a little?
Yeah, that sounds great. I'll get his left side and you can get his right side.
An excellent idea. And I look at 19 that's like in... maybe after we have a nap.
Yeah, I'm
sounds
right
great,
in front of the
actually.
door. It's 2.
Yeah.
It has been a long day.
Hey,
Isn't it like 11?
yeah,
Very early.
yeah, it's like 11 in the afternoon.
It's maybe like midday, but yeah.
Had a very long walk this morning.
Okay,
My head turns around. Just my head turns all the way around. Nods, turns all the way back around.
can I lay here? No, I'll take the floor. It's fine. I'll take the floor. No big deal.
Only if you want to.
No, it's great. Yeah, the floor's fine. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll just place Drift right here. And just kind of place pat a spot on the bed.
I can't lift him.
Together then.
All right. I'll try to lift Drift up.
I mean, just both of us lifting him.
I'm like, I was KO'd. There's no way. I like can barely breathe and stand up.
She's very wounded.
Yeah, I had to like crawl up holding 19 the entire way up the stairs. There's no way I can lift
She
Drift.
doesn't have a finger, damn it!
Yeah. So I will try, but it's mostly you, just so you know, which can probably annoy you a little bit more if you want. Like, not pulling my weight.
It's that thing where you're like helping somebody move, and
Yeah, and the couch, and it's like, God,
Yeah.
for fuck's sake.
it's like, oh god, yeah.
One of
Like,
you is
you're
the
not even
person
helping.
at the bottom of the stairs with the
Yeah.
couch, and the other one's at the top, just kind of guiding.
Just kind of like, yeah, yeah, I'm at the top. Like, yeah.
You
So I
can
kind
move
of
in,
just
though.
like grab his foot, yeah, and I just like help you. You pull him up, and I'm like, oh, okay, there you go. I set him down, and then I'll sit on the floor. Does Iro go to sleep right away?
No. No. I say, oh, I'm so very tired, and I'm miming the paper and the
Yeah,
the brush.
I give him the scroll and the brush quietly, slowly, so it doesn't make a sound.
All right, and I start writing on the paper with the pen.
I'm still good, right? They're not listening to me, Brad? Do I need to continually check for this?
I'll put it
can
this way: you haven't even the entire campaign. They haven't
They haven't done it yet? Okay.
obviously and intrusively, other than
Okay.
having spies manually follow you around.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm gonna write on the paper, what is going on? This is insane. Who are you? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
Add a couple more in there for me too, please.
As I'm watching you write the question marks with the beautiful calligraphy pen and ink, I'm going to pull out the Praeterita book again, and I'm going to point at it, the cover that says Praeterita on it.
Oh, my feet hurt so much.
What? Do you want me to massage your feet? What's happening?
No, I think I'm all right. I'll just massage them myself. I'm glaring intently at you, and I say, next on the paper, What do we do? Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point. And then I write after after 19 rests. Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
I don't know.
I'm going to write down we need to get rid of this money that Drift has while we're here and get out of this place.
I nod vigorously. Yes. Good idea.
Is there a window in the room?
Yeah. There is.
Oh yeah, that's right. The owl came in.
Yeah.
No. Maybe we should just go put it in the bar. They'll disperse it. Free drinks, whatever.
I look at her. We need supplies desperately. That would be stupid. Exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
I will now start writing as well. If we buy supplies with this money, they will know what supplies we got and when we got them. Exclamation
Fine.
point, exclamation point, exclamation point. Underline.
Yeah, and I write like over the other text. Fine. What does it matter?
They're looking for us. They will kill us. Underline kill a couple of times. Circle it.
You can hear my teeth grinding. And I say, why have you done this?
Ooh.
Question mark, question mark, question mark, question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
I'm going to write, I was just trying to keep him safe.
I look a bit taken aback and furrow my eyebrows at her. And I sort of put two and two together in my head, and I say, Green Hill? Question mark, question mark, question mark, exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point.
Now going to write on the paper, I'm sorry, but you're in it now. That's why I didn't want to tell you.
It seems like it didn't matter if you told us. We're in it now, no matter what. I look down at the paper and see that it's all filled up with ink and stuff, and I look at her. I'm just kind of... I'm super pissed. It's written all over my face, for sure. And,
Literally?
and I think that I'm going to... I'm going to start rifling through Drift's stuff and get the gold together.
Yeah, I mean, you can do that. Also, I think based on your spell, Drift is pretty much only asleep for as long as you want him to be.
Oh yeah, I'm letting him sleep.
You can either tell him to be asleep for a certain amount, or you can hold the concentration on the spell, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which one are you doing?
I'm gonna hold the concentration on the spell.
Okay.
For now.
In that case, yeah, I mean, yeah, you take all of the money and start grabbing it. It's pretty fucking heavy as well. It's a decent
So I'm gonna look at her, and I'm gonna sort of waggle the money as I say, I think I'm going to stretch my feet a bit.
I'm gonna flip the parchment over and I'm gonna write one last thing on it. You can still run.
I've got like the window like partially open, and then I close it. I sigh, close my eyes. I grab the paper, grab the pen, and I say, I don't leave friends behind. And I look at you the whole time that I write this out.
I'll spill the ink over the parchment so that it's completely wrecked. I'm not eating this one.
A lot of ink. You shouldn't. Sorry.
Yeah, I'm going to open the window and pop out.
Oh, I mean, you're on the first floor.
And when you say first floor in the UK, you mean the
Ground.
second floor.
Yeah. So you're on the
from the ground.
So you say, do you do ground 2, G2?
No, we just
we do
first
ground
floor,
and then
second floor.
All right.
Ground floor is the first floor.
first floor.
That explains why I never know what that is, because I know my brain is half American from American TV, and I always used to get that wrong. And now I've learned, because I used to get told off so much, that it was ground floor, first floor, and now I know that I was kind of right. So I'm gonna go and get all my teachers. Give me an acrobatics check though, because I feel like you're gonna need to you can climb down. There's probably like a drain pipe or something that you can climb down. But you could really.
I'll probably do that.
You could fuck it up as well. So.
Mm-hmm. What did you want?
Acrobatics.
Oh god. Oh god, hero.
That's an 8.
Oh fuck.
Hero. The DC is a 6, but it's not pretty. He just kind of like opens the window, and it's like
I feel like I slide. Like
he's got a fucking satchel of money in his stuff, and he's just kind of like,
Oh no!
and it's not pretty, and he kind of angrily and slips a couple, fucks it up, and
I go and I look out the window and I just like peek my head out.
Wait, like he's like a couple of feet too high before he jumps, and he stumbles a little on the ground, pats himself down. But I mean, you make it. It's just not pretty.
Are you okay?
there's a hateful look that I send up towards Rin, and I smile. Give her both thumbs, and I walk off.
And that is where we're gonna go to a little break this evening.
Oh my
Oh my god!
God damn! All right.
Please don't get us killed, Brad.
Hey, I ain't doing nothing.
It was
okay?
me. It was me. I hope I don't. If I get you all killed, I'm sorry.
I ain't doing nothing here. I'm just the world, and however you interact with that world is however you interact with the world.
Around me,
all right, thanks for watching. It's not over yet. We'll be back in a few minutes. We're gonna go take a little break. We're all gonna go and storm off for 5 minutes and walk around. And when we come back, we'll see if Drift ever wakes up. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you're enjoying the show. We have a new show starting soon. When does it start?
Oh, February 13th, Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
13th, PB launches. PB launches into
Are
the
you gonna-
game.
Are you gonna play the thing?
I'm gonna try. Yeah, I need to download
Yeah.
it. So, I'll run a little ad in a minute. Thanks for watching, everybody. Make sure you follow. Make sure you check out our Discord. There's all sorts of people. I'll tell you what, you guys are just writing the story for me in the Discord at this moment. I'm just sitting there. I haven't written anything for this, and I just go in the Discord, and they're like, the best thing. It could be this. It could be this. It could be this. I'm like, it's that one now, because that's better. Thanks very much. I'm kidding. Actually, I don't think anyone really guessed this, but it also, I think you owe a lot of people, because I love reading it. I love reading. I sit there and just read it and stuff, but a lot of people, I think, overthought this a little bit, but also I still think nobody's really quite worked out exactly what's going on. And I really, honestly don't think you will, because I designed this whole thing to fuck with all of you good D&D folks, and you're gonna love it or hate it. You'll find out eventually what's going on with Drift, Rin, Eero, and 19.
Dude, this is so much deeper than I ever thought.
It's crazy, yeah. Your character was supposed to be so simplistic,
sweet.
so sweet and simple.
Innocent.
Yeah,
And the kid.
You want to be a warlock? You're like, I'll be a warlock, and I'll take this fucking shadow
and I'll have
demon
this little doll,
thing.
and my parents are dead. Let's go. Like
Yeah,
that's
no,
a
that
great
is
little
not what a
storyline.
fucking warlock is. And fuck you if
No.
you run princess little warlocks with you. Your warlock is the unicorn warlock, and it's all no, dude. Warlocks should be fucked up, and your warlock is fucked. They should be like the fucking. They should be like the thing from the Ring.
Don't antagonize Vandy.
They should be. They should be.
She
the,
literally did pick a unicorn warlock.
They should,
by the
yeah,
way.
no, not in my fucking campaign. You want to be a warlock. You want to absorb powers from demonic shadow realm entities. You're gonna be a little You're gonna be the thing from The Grudge, dude. By the end of this, okay? And that's how warlocks should be played, okay? No, you can play them how you want, but that's how this one works. We'll see you after the break.
I'm in the apartment, the stuff's all on the floor, everybody's gone. I think something went wrong. Something went really wrong.
Let me help you.
Welcome to the darkness, my friend. Your eyes will adjust in time.
hello everyone. Wax Stevens got an announcement.
That was Brad passing the buck as fast as possible. Yes. Sorry for kind of like the late announcement on this. Schedules were a little weird this week, and we weren't sure exactly when we were going to be doing the shill show, but we are going to be doing the Tablestory shill show tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be myself, Brad, PB, and Jay, and that's the only way I will say your guys' name together forever. It's
so
PB
good.
and Jay forever and always. And yeah, we're gonna be playing Gloomhaven tomorrow. Gloomhaven. You guys should definitely check it out. Number one, it's an awesome game. Number two, it's gonna get real stupid, and you guys are gonna help contribute to that. So get your wallets ready, because that's how we actually keep. No, seriously, please. That's how we keep the lights on. Just please throw money at us. It's gonna be 5 p.m. Eastern tomorrow.
Yeah, and you can throw money to fuck the game up, and it's always like equal parts the worst and funny. Because halfway through we realize that we're really enjoying the game and want to play it legit, and then you're like, ha! Now there's Darth Vader in it, and it's stupid. Oh, Darth Vader's killing us.
I was so mad we lost the last game.
Yeah, well, then we had two. We had
were
two
so close.
Negans.
It was like one thing away. It was one away.
We were really close. Thanks, chat.
That's like somebody tripping you at the finish line.
Yeah, it really was.
Are you guys like that? Are you assholes that are going to trip us at the finish line?
You know they are.
Don't be that asshole.
We hope you are.
Back in D&D land, do you want me to fast forward you through 4 hours of rest? Because both of you two only need 4 hours, right? Oh no, or you only, I can't remember. No, actually, you don't need a short rest. You're still, I can't remember. Do you just need 4 hours, or do you only do 4 hours? I can't remember what. No, I know you do.
Yeah, we both only need 4 hours. I forgot I was muted. Sorry.
Warforged, I can't remember. I feel like a Warforged is similar to an elf. Yeah. So I can fast forward you through that unless anyone has any majorly pressing things. For a minimum of, for the maximum of 8 hours, Eero can control how long Drift stays asleep. So that's kind of on Eero. I think he can concentrate on that spell for 8 hours. And I guess it doesn't matter how far you go, distance-wise.
Well, I think
I don't know
it's
what the
just
official rules
I
are.
think the initial casting says I have to be within 30 feet.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that. I've never really been in this kind of situation before.
Yeah,
so
I
I'm
don't
not
know
sure
what happens with the
it's up to
range
you.
after that. I've always kind of just felt like as long as you hold the concentration up, that's the point of it. Because.
So
I think
I
you can
guess
hold on to it. We'll
what I'm
rule
gonna
that for
do-
today at least.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to head back up to the fairgrounds.
Okay.
Festival field.
Please.
And I'm just mumbling the whole way. Like, I hate her, I hate her, I hate her, I hate her so much. This is all her fault. It's always her fault. Always her fault. You would have no problems. I'm certain of it. No problems at all. Very peaceful, pleasant trip or everywhere we go. It's always her. Always her. Always her. And I'm going to find the exotic animal vendor.
Yes, you can do such a thing. So you maneuver through the town. Roll me a d20.
Oh, I'm so happy that the money's not going to the bar. I was so mad at you, Rin, in my sleep state. You were like,
alrighty then.
I just want to clip that. I'm so glad that money's not going to the poor and use it out of context.
the bar. Not the poor, the bar.
Yeah, but seriously, IRL, fucking poor people, right? Hey, I'm allowed to
This
say
is the
that.
way John is now, guys. You're just
Yeah.
going to have to accept it.
John just fucking laughs at.
You think I was hanging out with my kid? I was just buying more Teslas, idiots.
He's already got 20.
Like how many Firebirds for your dad or whatever? What is it?
Command. Corvettes, yeah.
Oh my god. You head back towards the festival field, and it's the middle of the day, but for the most part the actual main bulk of the city is relatively empty, because everyone is at the festival. And once again, once you get close to that bridge and you head across it, once that area that you were passing through before diverts you again, and you move around the area that was closed off, and then you head over that bridge with all the big magical runes over it, and into the festival field. And it's super busy. There's the majority of people are in that Colosseum. The Colosseum still stands. They're in the second day of the contest, and today is the archery contest. You probably hear something in the background, like, and that's a bullseye. Woohoo! People are going crazy, and it's same kind of atmosphere as there was yesterday when Drift was involved. People maneuvering in and around lots of these tents. A lot of the tents are just tents where people are, and a lot of the tents are set up for people to sell things to you. And I assume you're heading straight towards the animal.
Oh yeah, I'm
tent
heading right
without
there.
Stopping. Yeah, you head back to that little tent, and it's got these cages set up on the inside. On the outside, there's lots of little boxes and clear bowls, and there's lots of little odd animals. There are two big cages on the outside. One with the three-headed dog that you saw that he referred to as Cerberus, and one which appears to be empty. And as you approach, you see that gentleman that's in there, and he's in kind of a strange sash and these kind of exotic-looking clothes that look a little different to what you saw yesterday. They look like they look like the type of clothing that you might wear in the desert. He's wearing these sort of sandals and these very thin fabrics, and his skin is very tanned. And as you approach, he looks over and does not seem to recognize you. Did you come in as Eero, or did you come in as an old man last time? I think you came in as Eero, actually, because you came in with...
I came in as Eero, yeah.
He still doesn't recognize you, and he says, hello, welcome.
Hello there. I was here yesterday. It was yesterday, right?
Mm.
Oh my god.
I was here yesterday, along with a certain friend of mine. Perhaps you remember Drift the Cursebreaker?
I have never heard of him. I'm sorry, I have never heard of this name. My memory is not what it used to be, you must understand.
Well, he won the event yesterday in the arena. It's not really that much of a bother, but I was curious. I'm looking around here. We were interested perhaps in that owl that was here. Do you still have it?
Ah, the owl. Of course, yes. Perhaps I could interest you in a blink dog instead. They are a little easier to control.
A what now?
It's a little in-joke. The blink dogs are very difficult to control. They can teleport. The owl, you say?
Yes, that makes sense.
Yes. Yes, it is. And he reveals a little piece of fabric, and there's a classic-looking old-school bird cage, and perched on the cage is this golden owl.
I'm gonna roll a Constitution saving throw real quick.
Okay, just to not piss yourself with excitement.
Yeah, I'm inside my head right now. There's a PB noise that's happening.
Yeah. The owl is sat very still. It almost looks like a clockwork owl. It's so golden. Its feathers, it's real, but it looks so golden in its color, and every feather is golden. It doesn't have any white on it, and apart from its eyes, where at the center of its eyes they're very kind of pale, but they would be a golden color as well. And it's staring at you instantly. Like as soon as the thing is open, it's already kind of looking at you, and it's sat very, very still. And the gentleman says, yes, this owl, it is quite difficult to keep, to understand. It can see into the future.
Interesting. This owl. It can see into the future. Can it do anything else?
It can fly.
Good. Yes. Well, that's good. Yes, it can fly.
It can understand every language.
Maybe I'm interested. What would you charge for something like that?
This owl I found in the furthest lands from here, a place known as Dragon's Reach. Perhaps you have heard of it.
Oh yes, Dragon's Reach. Yeah.
Give me a history check.
I mean, even if I haven't heard of it, I'm just gonna lie through my teeth. Like,
you for sure would have heard of it.
21?
I just wondered if you know anything about it for real. Okay, my computer's trying to crash. Please, computer, if the stream ends, I'm sorry, everybody. Please don't crash. Okay. Are we still here? Yes. Dragon's Reach. Yeah, Dragon's Reach is located very, very far away from where you guys are. Hey, we have a world map. Let's look at a world map. This was a lot of effort. Might as well look at it in nice detail. You guys are in Thelmecia, in the pretty much at the center of the world. How it stands, and Dragon's Reach is all the way east past Alexandria, past Muzan to Dragon's Reach, all the way up here, in the middle of nowhere, right next to Darkfire, the scary Darkfire that everyone was like, oh my god, Brad's gonna run Darkfire next, and then I ran Darkfire, because I mentioned it once. Everyone was like, that's it, that's the coolest one, he should run that, an emo campaign. He says, so you know, for some reason you have an idea of what Dragon's Reach is like. It is supposedly the home of the Dragonborn. It is where they come from, and it is also one of the coldest places in the world. It is almost entirely covered in snow, and
would this owl be all right in this environment? I mean, surely Dragon's Reach is extremely cold.
This owl is good in every environment. It is extremely adaptable. It is very friendly, but you are good with animals, yes?
Of course.
Yes, well, an owl like this is very expensive. Powers like it has, mystic arts that it understands. It understands you better than you understand yourself, you understand?
Yes. Price, what were you thinking?
This creature is very expensive. The owl is always aware of where you are going, sometimes even before you are sure of where you wish to go yourself. Imagine the price that I could put on an animal like this for the highest bidder. A ranger or a druid would pay a lot for this money, for this owl. Perhaps, perhaps we will have a bidding war first. I will see if this can be sold further in town after this competition. That is, unless you are willing to pay the full price now.
And how much would that be? Out of curiosity, I'm not really sold on it, but I figure I might as well ask.
Give me a persuasion check.
Come on,
I
come
am
on.
an actor, Brad. Would I be able to get my advantage from my actor feat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah! It's crit.
17.
Didn't even need it.
This is, I'm not metagaming, chat, okay? They already know how much it's worth. He says, this I will sell to you for 3,000 gold.
Oh,
Yeah, I start to turn and walk away.
Good day to you. Perhaps I could interest you in an 8-eyed snake. It is a lot cheaper.
An 8-eyed snake. I don't know. These owl that's able to tell the future. What makes this eight-eyed snake so popular?
It has 8 eyes.
And
I know where I can find a monkey that is also a sorcerer. Perhaps you would like this information.
I have to say I'm rather unimpressed with the whole lot, but I'll tell you what. If you are interested in selling this owl, perhaps you could part with it for, say, I don't know, 2,000 gold pieces.
Give me another persuasion check.
Come on, come on, come on, come on.
With
You're not acting,
No.
so just give me a standard persuasion.
17.
Oh,
17 again.
17.
He says, "Ah, yes. I remember you now. I already told you how much it was, didn't I?"
That's right, you did, and you did say 2,000 gold pieces. You were trying to swindle me.
No, I am just trying to make sure that my animal goes to the right home. What do you think, Gabriel? And he unlocks the cage. He just unhooks a thing and opens it. He says, the owl has been staring at you the whole time. And he says, "I will sell him to you only if he wishes to be sold." Give me an animal handling check.
Fuck! This is
I am
it.
so emotionally.
19.
Yes! 19!
19's in the chat.
Oh!
19's in the chat. The owl almost immediately flies out, but it flies past you and up into the sky. He says,
Can I say something before he does anything? I say, Gabriel,
yes.
you struck me as more of a Archimedes.
Is that even a name? I have taken
It
to
is
call him.
now.
Well, I took to calling him Gabriel, but I'm sure you can call him whatever you like. You can speak to animals, yes? Perhaps you can ask him yourself.
Of course.
Yes. Okay, well,
Fuck.
2,000 gold pieces, and then I'm sure he will come on down.
Well, I suppose. And the whole time, the inner monologue is like, I'm gonna slowly take out the 2,000 gold pieces. My hand is like shaking a little bit as I do it.
Yeah, he takes them from you as however long it takes. You see him gather them, and then he places them in a bag, and then places that bag in the cage with the 3-headed dog. He gives it a piece of meat on each head, and then places the bag in there with it. And you can see a couple of other bags in there with this thing. It kind of growls a little, but he gives it a few slithers of what looks like salted beef, and then he puts the bag in there with him and locks the cage and says, "That is better than any lockbox, I can assure you. If one head doesn't bite your hands off, the other two will. Okay. Good luck with your Archimedes. Is that what you're going to call him?"
Perhaps after we've gotten him back. Does he have any sort of verbal commands or anything that he uses to assist?
Oh, yes. You will have to speak to him yourself.
But you don't have any sort of verbal commands or anything that I might assist you.
I did not train him. He simply he goes where he wants to go. For the time he wanted to come with me. Perhaps he has always been destined to come to you. Do you believe in destiny?
Of course I do.
Yes. Well, I assure you that this owl very much certainly believes in destiny. He knows everything before you know it. That is for sure. But whether he tells you, well, that is up to Archimedes.
Well, thank you for all of your help.
Wherever you go, he will be there before you.
Thank you.
When you need him, he usually comes.
Every fucking penny.
I'll just be on my way then.
Have a good day. And next year, I plan to have a giant spider that you can saddle and ride.
I walk outside, like let the. Is it a tent?
It's like a pretty big tent, yeah, like with the flaps.
I just let the flap go and I like run outside. Look at me, Gabriel! Gabriel!
All right, I'll give you the official blurb on Gabriel the Owl. 2,000 gold pieces, golden feathers, large golden eyes. The owl flies above you at all times. He's just always there, flying above you.
Nice.
It seems to be aware of where you're going, sometimes before you're even sure of where you wish to go yourself. If you have the means to speak with the owl, once per day, you may ask the owl a single question, and on a DC 12 animal handling check, the owl's eyes will turn white, and it will answer your question with a yes or a no. If you fail the check, if you fail it, Gabriel flies away for 3 days. That's the owl.
Oh my god!
And
there's gonna be a moment in this series. I'm telling you right now.
I almost called it Crackule. Just FYI. Let me post this. In fact, I'll put it in the Discord, and you can put it where you want on your sheet.
Okay. Yeah, and then besides that, I'm gonna get some supplies and things. I think I'm gonna buy a whole bunch of rations. I'll probably buy like 20 rations or something.
Yep.
And I will buy. Yeah, I'm gonna buy a quill and some ink and some paper.
Good shout. Since that's how you're going to be primarily speaking for the rest of the campaign, by the sounds of it.
Yeah, and I'm gonna buy some. I'm gonna see if there's any mice for sale anywhere.
Oh, I added this in here somewhere, but I don't know why I didn't. He looks after himself. You can feed him, and you can buy mice. But
yeah,
just
I'm
FYI,
still gonna buy mice.
FYI, it's completely self-sufficient. So you don't have to micromanage it if you don't want or whatever. But yeah, you can do that. Just mark off like a silver, and take a few mice.
I'll figure out the other pricing for everything.
Yeah, you can just pick up pretty much anything you want.
Okay.
Mark off the gold from the like standard adventuring gear.
Yeah, and then after I'm done, I would head back.
Sure. Yeah, I think probably this won't take you the full 4 hours, but we can say that you take your time to allow for it to do something like that, just to make sure time lines up relatively well. While you're there, you actually probably find that everything that you're looking for is in the festival field, because most of the merchants have packed up and moved up there anyway for better exposure. And then eventually you head back, and it takes you a decent amount of time. It would be, I guess, around 4 in the afternoon by the time you get back to the.
If it's that late, yeah, I would probably go to the Guild of Knowledge instead of the Iron Well Inn.
Sure. You can do
and just
that.
check on their progress before I head back.
Yeah, I assume the other 4 of you are still sleeping and shit. You guys need to
Yeah, I
rest.
think
You mean 3? Who's the 4th? Who's the 4th?
Did I say 4?
You did, but who is it?
Sorry, it's the spy in the room with you, who legit may or may not be there. No one checking. No one ever checking.
I have to say, I'm the spy, guys. I've been the spy the entire time. Dun, dun, dun.
Oh no. Okay, so you head back to the Guild of Knowledge. Okay.
Oh, no.
Let's just follow you. So you head back into the Guild of Knowledge, which was the kind of, it looks like a kind of university grounds to us with our modern day eyes. It looks like one of those kind of Harvard-esque university grounds. Big, large building with these huge wings to the sides, filled with books. God knows how far down it goes and stuff like that. It's just this enormous place. You walk into the foyer, where there's a central desk. There's lots of gnomes that seem to operate in here. You definitely see a lot of kind of scholars, scribes, people kind of dressed in robes, most likely wizards or trainees that are moving about, and for the most part they're shuffling quietly, speaking in hushed tones, and almost all of them are carrying books, some of them dragging kind of those little carts behind them with a decent amount of books in. As you approach, you see that same desk gnome that you spoke to at the beginning of the day, who I believe was called Femi, desk gnome Femi, and yes. But you do not see your
Scholar Kitty.
You do not see your scholar. So the way this works is that you can pay the guild to look into stuff for you. Instead of, you can gain access to the library and look around yourself, or you can ask one of the scholars themselves to kind of do the research for you, since they know these halls a little better. It's sometimes a lot quicker. So you approach the desk, I assume, and the desk gnome that's there, the large blue bespeckled eyes peer up at you and say,
"Ah, yes. Hello, sir. You're back."
Hello. Just inquiring on the process. If there had been any updates or any such thing.
Let me see. And it was Scholar Giddy, which I believe was looking for your books.
Yes, that's correct.
Yes, let me see here. We get a lot of work coming through. Let's have a look here. Oh, yes.
Give me a perception check.
That's a natural 1.
Never mind then. He says,
yes, Giddy. Yes, he found some information for you. I will summon him now. Please hold.
And he gets up and moves to the back of the desk. He mutters something under his breath and then comes back.
It should be just a moment. If you would like to take a seat over there, there are some nice, comfortable chairs to sit on.
Yes.
It's like a classic fucking area with some legit comfortable looking chairs that are big and wide.
I feel like I sit down in one and I just slowly
filled with nice fabric. Yeah, the stress of the day is 1% of it is alleviated, and you probably sit in one of the most comfortable chairs you've ever sat in. And this place is pretty nice, even in here. It's relatively lavish, as many of the larger buildings in Rosegard are. And you sit in this grand foyer with this desk and these people moving back and forth, probably for about 15 minutes, watching the various wizards and the scholars moving across the marble floor, in and out of the doors that are all around this place, and up and down the couple of stairwells and the large staircase at the back, until eventually you hear a door open and close, and you see that scholar moving across the floor towards you. He's got 3 books under his arm, and he looks around a few moments, and then he heads and walks over towards you, Scholar Giddy, in that robe that's slightly too large for him. He says,
"Oh yes, Mr. Iridair, good to see you."
Ah, hello there. Scholar Giddy, right?
Yes, I have some information on the things that you inquired. Would you like to talk about it here, or we can go somewhere more private?
Private would be excellent. Thank you.
Okay then, come with me, please.
And he turns around and heads backwards. There's about 3 doors down before he turns into a room that's very quiet. There's a hallway that's very quiet. There is about 12 doors that lead down the hallway, and a much larger door at the far end. Each of them quite small doors. It's like the rooms here were designed for the gnomes or halflings. And he opens the third one along and moves in, and it's just a very small basic room, about 6 chairs around a circular table, and that's it. He sits in the room and closes the door and offers you a chair and says,
"This room is quite protected. There is magics which defend it from scrying and the such, and nobody can hear in or out of the room. is safe in here to discuss practically anything as long as you are willing to discuss it with me. And I assure you, I am never going to tell any of these things to anybody.
Well, I appreciate your candor, and I appreciate your discretion.
Yes, look at this.
And he pulls his robe up and he has all of these very small inscriptions in tattoos. He says,
These stop people from controlling my mind. Well, unless you're very, very good. So they won't be able to get it out of me. You know, unless they torture me, I suppose. I don't like pain. But they wouldn't do that, would they?
That would be horrid.
Yes. Well, I will keep your secrets. Okay. That being said, the information that you looked for, I have found some things on it, but it was quite difficult. Perhaps with more time I will find more.
Time, unfortunately, is a bit of a problem for now. So perhaps we can proceed with the information that you have found so far.
Okay. Well, first of all, the name Kalios, yes?
Yes.
Let's proceed. I found only 2 entries with this name, but one of them was extremely easy to find. You probably could have found it yourself. It is the Kalios and Zon's exotic goods trade. Have you heard of them? Is this who you are looking into? Does this mean anything to you?
Sons?
Yes, Kalios and Sons. They are port trader merchants. They operate out of Lenadar in the north. Have you ever been to Lenadar?
No.
Ah, yes. Well, there is a harbor in the northeast. It is a very large city now, I believe. And they are a big merchant in there. They're an elven family. They're minor nobles. So that means they have a lot of money. And they have been working there for pretty much the entire time that this city exists. There is a lot of Kalioses there. I have these names for you. There is Ralnor Kalios. He started this company. And Lyre Kalios. There is Ivasar Kalios. There is Ole Kalios.
Slow down!
Oh, it's okay. I've written all of this down.
he picks up a separate piece of parchment out of one of the books.
I will give you this in a second if you would like. I will just list them off and then you can do with this information what you will. I have to look into some other things later on for
This is
another
the only
client.
copy of this list that you've made.
Yes, of course, yes. Although this information is very prominent, you can find this probably from anywhere. These merchants are very famous. They sell things from all over Lacrine.
Do they?
Yes, there is Daelor Kalios and Suntor Kalios. It is, this is the elder and then 3 sons. 4 sons, but one is deceased. So 3 sons living.
And you said there was another?
Yes, well, the last piece of information I found was actually a military record on one of these people. They served in the war for Roseguard upon one of the Roseguard ships. Ivasar Kalios, he's a high elf. Much like your hair. Are you a high elf? No, your skin is not good enough to be a high elf, is it? What is you? You is half of a human, isn't it? I can tell. I have good eyes. He is the son. He took to sailing and he was on a ship known as the Haliox and he sailed out of the port of Gil Harbor 25 years before the end of the war and was never seen again. These are the only 2 entries I have on the Kalios family. But they are very famous merchants. I'm sure if you speak to other merchants in the area that they will be able to help you. Or perhaps if you travel to Gil Harbor yourself, you will very easily be able to find them and question them on whatever it is that you wish.
Thank you. Yes, thank you for the information.
Would you like me to continue looking into the Kalios name?
Perhaps some other time.
Okay. The second piece of information that you look for was on the Bloodgrip's family, yes?
Yes.
Yes, where there is not much information on them, which is very strange because they have been here for a very long time. This city was founded as a village over 500 years ago, and they have been here practically since the beginning. And it's a very old family. They settled Rosegard with the king, you know, the Builder King. He settled this place and they were helping with it. And it was a frozen fishing village, and here's...
I'm like barely paying attention, like I'm just kind of like looking at the table or something when he's talking.
He says,
They are supposedly a crime syndicate as well, which is every information that I found. They are armorers, and they have practically been armorers for 500 years. There is only really 3 blood grip generations that have taken the armory over, but there is information here which was strange, and it struck me as interesting. Usually we do not lose things in the Guild of Knowledge, but there are many books and records that have been removed from our archives, some at the behest of the Inquisition, but some just seem to have gone missing. Our records are not complete. It is strange. Anyway, there is many of these blood grips in a town. There are about 10 families in Rosegard that sport the blood grip name. And they have many employees, and also employees that number in the hundreds. And officially, they have basic contracts for renovating metal-based products, and it all looks above board, you know, on the records. But there are also many things written about them in several books which state that they are for sure a terrible crime syndicate who would stop at nothing to gain money and more ground. So they have been here for a long time. They made a lot of profit during the wartime with armor contracts.
10 families, you say?
10 families that sport the name Blood Grip, and then at least possibly several hundred employees. So there is a lot to look into, and I would probably need a little longer to get more specific information that you would like. Would you like me to continue to look into the Blood Grip name?
Scholar Giddy.
Yes.
I think it would be best if you didn't look any further into the Blood Grip families. Specifically, for your safety.
Yes, I kind of got that feeling as well, and I'm very glad to hear you say that. I am a very hard worker, but this one is one that kind of frightens me a little bit. They are very active.
I would like the information, and I'm allowed to leave this place with it, yes?
Of course, the information is yours to take.
Thank you. That will be all.
Okay, I would give you this piece of parchment here on the Kalius name, and this piece of parchment here is what I have so far on the Blood Grip name. And I will cease investigation into both, yes?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, well, it was very nice to meet you, Mr. Eridair. Is there anything else that I can look into for you?
No, that's all.
Okay. Well then, if you would like to follow me...
He picks up the 3 books and opens the door ahead of you.
I'll lead you out back to the foyer.
I'm gonna take out 10 gold pieces, like sort of subconsciously. Like I'm basically just gonna stick my hand in the coin purse, grab like a handful of coins, and just kind of... I grab his wrist and I just kind of put the money in his hand. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. Mother will be very proud of me. Let me put those in here. Okay. Okay, yes, follow me.
His little feet start padding along towards the doorway, and he opens the door into the main foyer. As you pass through, he closes it behind him and says,
Of course, if you would like us to look into further things, then you can approach a desk gnome. Good day to you, Mr. Eridair.
I walk out like slowly from the building and head back to the Ironwell Inn.
Sure. You head on back to the Ironwell Inn. I'll give you that info in a second. You have 2 pieces of parchment that just have the blurb that he wrote down for each of those things. Ironwell Inn. I am on the wrong thing. So, with that in tow, probably it has been about 4 hours. I think probably Iridir heads back in, not via the window, presumably.
Yeah, I don't think I would go back to the window. I'd probably go to the door and knock.
Okay, so I think while 19, you're coming up out of the alert bot.
I see. I had a better idea than that, Brad.
Go on in.
I'd say when he knocks, scares 19. 19 puts his hand around his throat. Not
Well,
even
the door
kidding.
knocks.
Because he's so aware right now of what's going on.
Yeah, the door's closed.
Yeah,
Hey, like, as soon as the door opens, he's just right on him.
Oh, it's Eero. It's Eero. 19, it's Eero.
I let go.
Put him down.
How'd you get up?
As soon as he grabs me by the throat.
How'd you get out there? I thought you were behind me the whole time.
The suggestion's over.
Yeah, okay, yeah. And Drift, you just you wake up from a very deep sleep. In fact, roll me a Constitution save.
How did you?
What do you mean? He went for a walk.
When?
10. You're okay, but you feel fucking rough.
About 4 hours ago. Right before we went down for a nap.
We never went through the window door. I mean, the door. I never saw him go through the door.
You guys are alive?
Time.
You guys are alive? You guys are alive? You guys are alive?
Drift?
Yes, we're alive.
Oh my God, are you okay?
You guys are alive?
Yes, we're alive.
This is real?
This is real.
I'm like,
are you okay?
I jump up and I like run and I give a huge hug to Rin. Like
I hug you back.
Like totally like jump into like her arms and I like pat like 19 on the shoulder and Eero's choking and I like grab his head and I'm just like, yes! What happened?
I don't, you tell us.
Yeah, what do you think happened?
I saw you guys hanging on you guys are hanging.
Yeah. And I walk in and like close the door as I'm like hunched over, like trying to catch my breath. And I sort of open my eyes wide at Rin.
Oh, you had too much to drink.
But you guys were dead. I mean, legitimately dead.
It was a lot of alcohol that you had, Reeve.
I got wasted. I got absolutely hammered. I partied way too hard.
So let's never party that hard again, okay?
I've never experienced something like that. It was like usually after I drink, I'm happy and positive and life's beautiful. Everything was so dark. It was like I thought you guys were dead.
We're very alive.
Now you know your limit, okay?
Where'd you go?
Well, I thought it wise if I picked up some supplies that we desperately needed. I just hold up like a few bags worth of stuff.
Oh, wonderful.
And I say, we've been here for some time. Was there anything else anyone wanted to do while we were here in Rosegard?
I mean, I really wanted to buy you an owl, Eero.
Yes. And, when I was out, I have to say, I was a little curious myself. So I took a trip to the exotic animal vendor that was by the festival. Unfortunately, he had already sold it.
So sorry. That's like what you wanted. You helped me win that fight. You deserve that.
It's all right, Drift. It's all right. I assure you. I'll be okay. I thought it was more important that we buy some supplies and whatnot. But if we are done here, perhaps it's best if we consider our future options. We should all move on.
I have a place I think we should go.
What might that be?
Where's that?
South of here, there's a port town. It's where Heavy and his friend are going. From that port town, they plan to go across the sea to the south. I look at Drift. There's something down there that I feel I must do. And we don't have to go, but if we're looking to leave and we need a place to go, I think we would be welcome in this port town. It was called, I can't find the map, Brad. I looked for the map before I said this.
It's pinned in Discord.
Oh, it's...
Yeah, I can throw you on the map. Sandfoot, you're looking for.
Sanford. I think it started with an S.
Pretty much everyone.
Sanford, I think. It's to the southeast of here. It's a good trek.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
But I also, I understand that this would be for me, not for anybody else. So it'd be good to know where everybody else thinks we should go.
Do you have any ideas, Rin?
Yes. What do you think, Rin? Also, what were you talking about earlier? I could only hear you saying quite a bit of weird things. I couldn't understand what you were actually speaking of.
Oh, we were talking about Drift's drinking.
That won't happen again. I celebrate.
You really got out of hand. We were very worried about you.
I missed Thelmecia. Oh man, wow, yeah. That's not gonna happen again.
What do you think, Rin? Where do you think we should go?
Yeah, I think going south sounds great. I did want to stop by that big the library here in the city though to look into the rune that Hasmol told us about before we left.
Probably not a bad idea. Let's go. And as it said, I just walk straight out the door.
Whoa. Oh, okay.
And that's where I gotta go.
Hey.
Nice.
I get it.
Love you guys. I gotta get out of here.
Auto follow. Just type /auto follow. Make sure you /auto follow, so you follow us no matter where we go.
Yeah.
You ever play World of Warcraft?
Oh yeah, hold on to /
EverQuest.
I'm gonna auto follow Eero because he seems like the only smart one.
You're gone. You're done. You're
One's trying to kill me, one's a liar. I love you guys. Bye.
Goodbye.
Yeah. This is gonna screw up the overlay for like 1 second.
That's why I stopped before. Are you ready for me to go? I won't screw everything up.
Yeah, do it now.
Bye.
Bye. Did he leave? Why is he
Yes.
still here?
He's here, Brad.
Leave. Fuck out of it. Fuck out of it. All right.
It is screwed up, by the way.
It's still screwed. Okay, so yeah, he walks out the door excitedly. What are the rest of you doing?
All right.
We still have all this. No.
Oh no.
No! I lost the money.
Wrong?
I lost the money.
It's a good thing for you I found it.
I didn't spend it drunkenly.
Well, you did spend a little, but we're all entitled to a little debauchery now and again.
So you have the money.
Of course I do.
Should we go spend? Shouldn't we spend some of it?
How would you feel if I told you I spent a good portion of it?
I mean, you got 70%, so if you spent 70%, that'd be fine. I understand.
Wait. Eero got 70% of your winnings.
That seems like neither here nor there. I smile as I walk off.
I just shake my head at you.
Towards the Guild of Knowledge.
And then as they're both walking out, I'm just gonna be talking to Ren. Yeah, he said that 70% was a good deal because I did 30% of the work and 70%. And that's like all you hear trickling off.
Yes. And I make a chest with teeth behind.
And you hear that as we walk out of the room.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nice. And yeah, I think it's probably a good place to close it a little early today, but we're missing a tiger rider, so he's probably gonna want to be here for all the whatever the fuck you're gonna do.
For us actually leaving town, Bosley?
I know.
How many episodes has it been in this town? How many episodes?
All of them. We've
11.
So these guys head out of the bar. I'll say this though, as you're moving through town, the camera pans to to another part of the city where we see all of these training dummies which have been destroyed in an area of town where these guards are stood around saying, "No, who would fucking destroy one of them? I don't know why the fuck they fucking bother. Also, how did they destroy one? Ain't they designed to be fucking hit? Yeah, they're designed to be fucking hit. Now, this is fucking bullshit." And there's a few training dummies, fucking torn up straw sticking out of them and stuff like that.
One looks mysteriously like Drift.
One looks mysteriously like Drift. No, it's just another doll, which was confusing for everyone. For the record as well, because I saw a lot of people getting confused about the dolls. Here's the fucking lore on the dolls here. Drift had a doll before in character creation. He's got a little doll that basically
does not look like me.
It doesn't look like him. It's like a little fucking thing.
Voodoo.
Kind of
Voodoo
little voodoo
doll.
doll looking
Total
thing.
voodoo doll.
That he's had since he began speaking with his patron when 5 years ago.
I haven't told that story really, I don't think, out loud, right?
I think you mentioned it enough for me to justify saying that. But you have one other little doll. Then there was the Drift doll, which was the big doll that appeared with him in the box. They left that behind. That was the thing that they distracted the long stick with in the cave. So that is gone. It's in the cave being fucking fucked up.
I feel like people meme it like that. It just keeps gonna pop, like it's gonna pop up at places.
Yeah. Well, it was creepy and horrible. Maybe it will. But that's where that is as far as we're all concerned. And then there's the third. There's the doll that was being made by the armorer, Fort Smasher, and his crew when they were murdered. That is in the hands of the Inquisition. And then there's the doll that Rin picked up because she asked the Kosharian, one of the Kosharian leaders, Tari.
It's more of a statue than a doll.
Yeah, but it was
just a doll.
It was pretty much one of those like anatomy statues that are very plain. And where is that? Who has that? You have that, right?
I gave it to Drift.
I think Drift has that.
Yeah.
So that's the status on all those dolls. And now there's like 4 ripped up training dummies that belong to like the Rose Guard army that are all fucked up somewhere in town. So that's that. Okay? All right. Now I don't need to worry about, because that is confusing, and it's just one of those things that happened. It's not like one of those things that I'm like, I know, I'll write like 7 dolls into this storyline, because that won't be confusing at all. It just happened. So D&D, everybody. Thanks for playing, players.
Yeah.
That was great.
Congratulations on subduing him, because you don't want to know what would have happened if he.
I'm so curious.
Well, I had an idea.
If
like,
he had won.
Fucking killed us.
Yeah, you really, really want to win that fight. Thanks for playing. Let's do a little round of shout outs here. Let's start with the man that we started with earlier on, Mr. Drift, Sir Drift, the Curse Breaker. Even.
Yo, thanks for watching. That was just amazing. My favorite moment of today, just like thinking about it, was realizing that I killed people on the way. Like a half hour later, when I realized they weren't shadow people, they're actually probably just humans. Like, hey, you need some help? Hey, what's going on? Like little kid, just like, yo, are you okay, sir? I'm just slashing their throats.
That would have been awful, wouldn't it?
Today was awesome. Thank you for watching, as always.
I
Love
loved
you guys.
watching you in the arena. You were so big
Oh,
and fat.
whack!
Like I actually, and they don't know this. Like I killed the Inquisition's probably coming after me right now.
I think those were the dolls, the dummies that we just saw.
That's what the
Yeah.
dummies were.
Oh,
Yeah,
see,
you fucked
nothing
with the
connects with
dummies
me.
and not real people.
Nothing connects with
Yeah,
me.
because that's exactly what I was thinking when
Oh
Eero
my
was
god.
when Eero was walking to the thing. I was like, are there fucking dead bodies in the street? Like, what's happening here?
So dumb. Yeah, that's amazing. Yo, PB, can you just like whisper me everything you realize in the show as you realize it? Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you. Thank you. Love you. Peace.
Here's how I kind of justified that. Whatever the fuck is going on with Drift, everyone's been like, he's going full Anakin, he's going full dark side. There has to be 1% of him still in there, pulling back the punches, right? And that 1% avoided him cutting off some kid's head and killing the younglings, and just fucking, and like it was hitting the training dummies. Luckily, that's how I kind of went with that. Because he would have been even more strong, you know, because of the blood magics. Anyway, let's go on to the next person. Let's go to PB because she's got some good shit going on.
Yes, I do. February 13th, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You guys saw the trailer for it. It's fucking great. It's Nocturne. I'm going to be jamming. The cast is amazing. It's going to be really dark and wonderful, and I hope that you will come.
Hecka yes. You can also follow PB at twitch.tv/Pernaclablares. I can't remember what your Twitch channel is. I would never go there.
Yeah.
It's Pumpkinberry. It's Pumpkinberry, buddy. Work it out. Pernaclablares. So yeah, Nocturne starts, and I recommend that you watch episode 1 of it. So that you can get in on the first episode, because that's super fun. Mr. Wax Steven, what else we got going on?
I have played Eero Deer for you today. I hope you had a fun time on today's episode.
Such a good
you
Eero
almost made me
episode
cry.
As well.
Your face when you
Yeah,
got that
dude.
news, I felt like I'd been punched. It was
Yeah, that was heavy.
I hope you enjoyed it, regardless of the punching gut feeling or not. Yeah, we're doing the Shill Show tomorrow, so I hope you guys are ready for some Shill Showy. I mean, I was gonna say goodness, but you guys know what we do on the Shill Shows by now. It's not good. It's just stupid. But we do stupid we do stupid real good here.
We do that there stupid.
on this channel. So come hang out with us for the stupid tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern as we play Gloomhaven.
yes.
Which is a really
I want to be the mind thief.
This is a really dope game. It's gonna be a lot of fun. And I know as soon as like Brad sees it, he's gonna be like, oh my god, this game is fucking dope.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
And I know him and Jay are gonna like it, so I'm pretty excited. And I've got a lot of really stupid things planned, so I hope you guys are there.
So stupid.
All I will say is there may be some cameo appearances depending on the donations.
Wait, what?
I don't know what that means.
Whoa! Brad Pitt, everyone.
Brad Pitt coming in.
He loves D&D.
Okay, well, that brings us to the end. We'll see you tomorrow for the Shield Show. I'll see you on Thursday for Ragtags, where I play a half-orc paladin. And
Friday for Halcyon.
And then
Friday
Halcyon
not looking
Unbound,
likely
which
right
is probably not on. And but I'm also in that as an NPC called Paloculus, and he's super strong and doesn't bleed. And that'll be the end of it. We'll see you next week for more Darkfire, because we never miss an episode. I'll be here by my bloody self telling you a fucking story if none of the others show up.
That's so crazy.
I refuse
It's
to miss
amazing.
an episode.
It's always been an episode, no matter what.
Yeah.
Even if some...
We're fucking, and I'm really glad because we've fucking sat in this fucking town for fucking 45 fucking episodes.
I'm still enjoying the town, to be honest.
Yeah, well, lucky for you, you will never leave. It's all been in Drift's head all along.
Oh no!
We'll see you next week.
Consequence of being Neck snapped by Ren.
We'll see you next week, where maybe they'll leave the town, or maybe they won't. And
Rude.
We'll see you
Whack out.
on Tuesday next week. Peace out. Bye.
I'm in the apartment, the stuff's all on the floor, everybody's gone. I think something went wrong. Something went really wrong.
Let me help you.
Welcome to the darkness, my friend. Your eyes will adjust in time.